Good news can often get overlooked or buried by the negative in our everyday lives. So let's change that. I'm Adrianna.
And I'm Wyatt.
We're just two ordinary people without any special qualifications or anything, trying to navigate life. We invite you to join us as we share wholesome stories, news articles of hope, and ideas about how we can all make the world just a little bit brighter. We are uplifting positive stories. Welcome back to another episode of Uplifting Positive Stories, and happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah,
Christmas is literally right around the corner, unless you're actually listening to this on
Hanukkah,
Christmas.
Kwanzaa, there's so many holidays that are happening within the next couple weeks here, and just the general holiday spirit is in full swing, so we're doing it a little early. I know most of them are next week, but we just thought we'd get it out a little bit early in case y'all are going to be traveling for the holidays or doing anything with your families that day. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We've got some fun stories for today, and I'm really excited to share them. So we'll start right off the bat.
Well, before we get started, I want to show off one of the Christmas presents you got/made for me.
As we've talked about in past episodes, we're really bad at keeping surprises for each other. So we've already exchanged a couple gifts.
Yeah, you needed my input on making sure certain things were correct and stuff. For our video viewers here, got a statuette of, for those who know Star Wars, of the extended universe of Revan from the Old Republic. She made. You want to just describe it a little bit, what you actually did here?
Sure. Well, I got the miniature or the statue from Etsy, and then I painted it. And then, obviously, the background looks like it was printed. The background I printed, I made it using AI to get kind of a space background that I wanted. And then I found the base and the light base and the case, obviously, from Amazon. So, yeah.
And then it lights up. I'm really happy with it. I love it a lot. That's why I wanted to show it off on here, because I think it's cool.
Aww.
Do it on the tight camera too. I love it. I just keep staring at it. I'm a huge Star Wars fan in general, especially for the Old Republic. And this is like one of my favorite characters of all time. If you know, you know. Especially extended universe. And it's just, I love it. It's super cool. And you did a great job.
Oh, well, thanks.
And the light up thing is cool. So we're just going to leave it here through the episode. So.
Okay, sounds good.
Listeners, you have to check out the video to see what we're talking about here. But I really like it. It's one of my favorite presents you've gotten from me in recent time.
Oh, well, thanks.
I know you put a lot of thought and effort into it, so.
Thanks. Wyatt got me the Kingdom Hearts games, which I've never played before, but he has. And they have Disney in them and stuff like that, which he knows I love Disney, so I've been playing those. It's been really fun, so it was a very good gift.
But we have more gifts coming from each other, though. We didn't give them all away before Christmas.
We just exchanged
just a couple.
Just because we're like I said, we're really bad at keeping surprises. I don't know if anybody else is around the holidays, but it's really hard when you live in a little house together. It's hard to keep things a secret. So sometimes we just give things early if it's gonna be hard to keep them a secret.
And especially when we're excited about them.
That's true. With that, let's go into some holiday stories. So the first one comes from the subreddit, Ask Reddit, and the threads is called, "What is the most wholesome thing you've seen?" This one is a short story, and it says, "When my daughter was 2.5, we went to see Santa, and he gave all the kids toys. My daughter was ecstatic and had been looking forward to it for weeks. She was so excited to meet him and overjoyed with her present. Then suddenly she looked at me and said, 'Mummy have present?' And I said, 'No, they're just for the children.' She then tried to give me hers." Crying emoji. Isn't that the sweetest thing?
That's really sweet. That's kind of like, I was just seeing it recently a couple times. It's kind of Uno reverse on that one. They're like this old, I don't know how old it is, but it's an SNL sketch with Amy Poehler, I think it is. Or it's one of the SNL famous old school actors, and it's like a musical number, like talking about all the cool things they all got for Christmas. And then it's like the mom, it's like basically got nothing. Like, I got this Mr. I got this Mr. My mom's like, I got an empty stocking inside, like because it looked kind of weird without me having a stocking up there. And it's just like flat, and it's just absolutely nothing, or like a sweater, like it's just. So this is kind of like Uno reverse, and like, oh mom, you got to have something too.
Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? Yeah, we have another story later. It kind of has a similar story to it, but yeah, I just thought that was so sweet, especially after hearing the little 2.5-year-old had been just super excited for weeks looking forward to this, and then to finally get the gift and then be like, well, you have to have something, I'll just give you mine. That's so sweet. Kids are the sweetest. So our next story here comes from the subreddit Parenting, and it is titled Happy Hanukkah and a Heartfelt Story. This story says, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah and share a little story. My oldest son is off at college, 3rd year, and was home visiting for Thanksgiving, but went back to school today. Before he left, I helped pack up some of his stuff. Clean laundry, lol, and 8 numbered envelopes for him to open every night with cash and gift cards in hopes that he would FaceTime when we lit our candles at home with his younger brother, since Hanukkah fell early this year. And he asks if we still had our spare menorah for Hanukkah, as he wanted to celebrate with his friends since he couldn't do it with us as a family. I searched and I packed it up for him with candles, his childhood dreidel, kippas, and gelt, chocolate candy, for his roommates. We went about our day, and when it came time to light our candles, we FaceTimed him, but he ignored our call and texted that he'd do it later. I had to admit, I was a little sad, as that was our first year not lighting candles together as a family. Then, around 11:30 at night, I get a FaceTime from him saying, Dad, we're ready, with all the boys sitting around the menorah with their kippas on and ready to light the candles. He recited the prayers perfectly, and everyone thanked me for the candy. We're not a super religious family, and he's always been kind of secretive of our Judaism, but this really gave me butterflies and warmed my heart. I know that as we grow up, we all make our own choices in life, but I'm happy to know he's strong enough to share a part of his childhood/family life with his friends, and included me in it. Edit, none of his roommates are Jewish, so seeing them all huddled around the menorah with kippas on was quite the sight. I guess they're playing dreidel tonight, and everyone is putting $20 in, winner take all.
Mm-hmm. So it was still virtual, right?
Like it was virtual. So he was in his college. So to make it clearer, because I think the edit kind of cleared it up for me too when I read it. So basically, they texted him saying, hey, we're going to light the candles. Are you going to join us for FaceTime? And he's like, I can't right now. And then later, FaceTime them at 11:30 at night with his friends all around a table with their kippas and their candles ready to light it with them on FaceTime.
I bet you he was waiting for a couple of the friends to
show up so they could do it. Yeah, exactly. So he's like, we can't do it right now. Not yet. So she thought he was just not going to do it, period. But then he showed up with all of his friends, and his friends weren't Jewish, but they decided to take part in that tradition with him, and he shared that with them, that was their family tradition to do that together and share the chocolates and then play the dreidel game. So they did that together, which is super, super cool. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a super awesome example of not only like the fact that he kept on his tradition with his parents, because obviously it meant a lot to them. I think that's really, really cool in a way that worked for them, because he obviously wasn't able to make it home that year for Hanukkah. Yeah. So to be able to do that from his dorm room, I think that's super cool that he still made the effort to do that with his family, because he knew how important that was to them. But also the fact that his friends were willing to be a part of that, not really knowing necessarily the traditions and stuff, and maybe not being Jewish themselves, but still take part in it and make him feel supported in it. I think that's so, so cool. And that goes for any holiday and stuff, just kind of being willing to be a part of that, even if it's not necessarily something that you celebrate, but if it's somebody that you care about, that you're friends with and stuff, just showing interest in it and being a part of that for them, that can make such a huge difference. And I know like that's a huge issue for a lot of people, is the differences of how people celebrate the holidays, the different traditions, the different things. Like, that's not how we do it, or that's not something that I celebrate and stuff. And instead,
even within the same like holiday celebration,
exactly.
Not even like thinking about like different holidays, just within the same holiday. Like say just Christmas, like everyone, not a lot of people celebrate Christmas differently from the other, right? And that can get kind of political sometimes, and
people have differences of how they do things. Like no, we open a present on Christmas Eve, or oh no, we don't do that until Christmas morning.
Presents, like, that's a big one.
That's a huge one. There's just so many, the traditions in general just completely can be so different. And so being open to just experiencing it with somebody that you care about, even if it's not something that you typically do or you typically would celebrate, I think that's so, so cool that they were so supportive of him. So I thought that was a really good example of that.
That's pretty cool. If you want to see a TV show that kind of takes that idea in a funny kind of way, explores that same idea. But we recently watched the Christmas episodes for Modern Family, and I think that was season 3, episode 10, where Jay and Gloria and Manny, like, they come from very different cultures and stuff. And
Gloria's
Jay,
Colombian.
Yep,
and so is Manny, her son.
Yeah, and Jay initially is like, nope, Christmas is this, it is this, and this is how we're gonna do it. And by the end, there's introducing new traditions and
right. Like, for example, from the episode, and I don't know how accurate this is or not. I mean, it's a TV show, so it might not be. But one of the things that Manny, the kid who's Colombian, wants to do is do fireworks on Christmas Eve because that's a big tradition for them back in Colombia. And Jay's like, we don't do that on Christmas Eve. That's not how that goes. And like, they do pranks and stuff. That's like a part of the Christmas season. And if you're pranked, you're an inocente. Like, there's stuff like that. And so Jay is at first very resistant to changing traditions. And he's like, no, we have to put up a Christmas tree and we have to do these things because that's what my kids did when I was raising them when they were little and stuff. So we need to keep that tradition going. And instead, when he decides to kind of meet them in the middle and try out their traditions and then also bring them in on his traditions as well, cutting down a Christmas tree and putting it up, they are
That's
able to.
That's a future episode.
Yeah, but like with Manny, it's just something that brings them together even more, and I think gives them insight to each other better, and it makes their holidays a lot more happy. So yeah, no matter what the holiday is, I think if we're willing to be open-minded and try out new things, it can really make the holidays even more special. All right. Another story here. This is from the subreddit Ask Old People. Did not know that was a subreddit. And someone had posted the question, what is your favorite Christmas memory? And this was one of the responses. My dad died when I was 16. That same year, my sister and my 2 brothers married and moved out. Suddenly, we went from a family of 6 people to just my mother and me. My mom was heartbroken, and it seemed that Christmas was going to be a pretty bleak affair. I decided to make up a Christmas sock for my mom. On Christmas morning, she looked at it and asked, what is this? I said, it's a Christmas sock. For who? When I said, it's for you, she looked confused and then said, I've never had a Christmas sock before in my whole life. We went the longest time looking at each of the small things that I'd put in her sock, and she seemed so delighted with every one of them. It wasn't the happiest Christmas, of course, how could it be? But I can't think of that moment without a smile, and I made her a Christmas sock every year after that.
When you have a turbulent time, those kind of moments, they're that much more special and important.
Right.
You know, even if it's like, it's a little thing ultimately, like how that wasn't like an expensive thing to do or maybe necessarily a super and crazy time consuming thing, but they put some thought and care into it and did a nice gesture, and that can mean the world to somebody who's going through a rough time or a time of feeling alone and possibly empty, you know?
Right, 100%. And going back to even that SNL sketch you were talking about with the mom with the empty stocking, I think a lot of times...
these stories are counter to that so far.
Yeah, I think a lot of times the mom does get a little forgotten in the traditions because she's doing it for her kids and stuff like that to try to create those memories and those traditions. And sometimes the same isn't always returned. And so I love that this OP recognized that I don't know if my mom usually gets a stocking or a sock at this time of the year, so I'm going to do that for her. And obviously that meant a lot to her because sometimes, you know, they don't think about themselves that they should be getting something like that. And so I thought that was really, really sweet. Yeah, really cool. And that goes for like, even if you have somebody in your life, like a neighbor or something, that at this time of the year, no matter what holiday you celebrate, if they're they don't usually have a lot of people over or something like that, even if you just bake them something around the holidays and bring it over to them, that can mean a huge deal to them because it just shows that you were thinking of them. Like you said, it doesn't have to cost much. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but just to show them at that time of the year that they're being thought about can mean a huge deal.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I love most with the holidays, I think, is just, it's a time of year where I think people start becoming more mindful of those things just because that's kind of what society pushes, is that the holidays are a time of giving. No matter what you celebrate, that's kind of the thing that ties all of them together, is that togetherness with people and that giving and, yeah, just kind of being around people. And so if we can do that part of it and give to people or reach out to people so they don't feel alone around the holidays, it makes them even cooler.
Focus more on the loving, caring part of the holidays, which... You know, gift giving can be that. Right. You know, but...
Yep. Or even acts of service, like shoveling out their driveway if you have snow, if you live somewhere there's snow, or helping them out with something. Yeah, I don't know why, but this time of the year is when those things become more public, I guess, where it's like, that's the time of year to do it kind of thing. I mean, we could always do it all year round. It just seems like they're more widespread. People are in more of a giving mood this time of year, which is really cool.
And maybe it's more socially acceptable, you know. Sometimes you need a little push, like, okay, it's the social norm for me to give a gift to you, you know, like
Yeah.
with friends, it might be weird to give someone a gift like randomly out of the
Right.
blue for no apparent reason. I did that once with a friend, got him like a Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher statue that we'd found. And like, I think he liked it. And like,
Yeah.
but it definitely was not a normal thing to do to just give him a gift like that without it being
Right.
even remotely around the holidays, you know?
Right. Exactly. But yeah. All right. On to our last story here. This one is from Ask Reddit. What is the most wholesome thing you have seen? It says, I worked in retail for 5 years at a high-end discounted department store. It was around Christmas time, and there was this young boy who I assumed was helping his grandmother's shop. She needed help getting things to checkout, and he was being very helpful. Some time's gone by, and I go up to the register for whatever reason, and my coworkers were talking with the older woman as she was finishing checking out. Apparently, that boy and her were strangers, and he was just trying to help her out. I guess they were talking about the holiday shopping he was there with his sisters for, telling her they never have much for the holidays, but they make do. We had some of these really expensive $60 to $80 RC trucks in, and this woman bought him one, and this boy was just over the moon. All of our hearts just melted at the gesture, and my manager says to us, the spirit of Christmas is still alive. So the little boy was just being nice and was helping her bring stuff to checkout that she couldn't carry, and then she Uno reversed it and got him an expensive RC truck for this little boy who said that they don't get much around the holidays. So that's pretty cool. Super, super cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So, a bunch of feel-good stories. This last thing I'm going to share here, I'm going to go into a little information about what this thing is, and then I have a little Reddit post that kind of has a cool follow-up to it. So, here we go. This comes from foxnews.com. It is titled, Kids in Foster Care See Dreams Come True Thanks to New Jersey Nonprofit One Simple Wish. So this is not a holiday-specific nonprofit. It's just something that popped up, and I saw it, and I was like, that's incredible. That's so cool. So originally, when this organization was created, it was based only in New Jersey, and basically it is a website where agencies that help out with foster care can get to know a child and then post what their one wish is. And it could be anything as small as I'd like to get a new pair of sneakers to as big as I would love to go on a little trip to this place. It kind of varies. And they put it on the website as kind of almost like a GoFundMe, where it has a little description of who the kid is and what they're asking for. And then you have the option on there to fulfill that wish for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have different ways you can pay, like PayPal, Venmo, all those kind of things, from what I could see. So anyways, it started out that it was a small organization working with only 12 agency partners in New Jersey. Fast forward to today, and this organization now serves about 25,000 to 30,000 people each year in all 50 states, and it works with 2,000 agencies for foster cares. So it has a few options as well. Like I said, there is the One Simple Wishes that you can donate to. It also has college scholarships that you can donate to support as an education fund for kids who have been in the foster care system. They also have what's called a Life After Fund, which is for kids that have gone out of foster care now to help them kind of make the transition out of foster care. It's just some examples that I saw on the website of simple wishes that I thought were really sweet. So one was a fun day of games for Willie to have over the holiday break, and they're asking for $60 for that right now. Slip-resistant sneakers for Leah, who just got her first job, $60. Mm-hmm. A room makeover for Kayla to make her room feel personable, $60. Makeup for Mayra, who would like to look nice for her winter dance, $90. So it can be anything from kids that are wanting to be a part of school sports and need something for that, the ability to go to a cool art class, extras like camps and birthday parties, gifts for the holidays, or stuff to be able to go to prom. So yeah, there are currently 1,885 wishes waiting to be granted. Yeah, it's just such a cool idea, really. I mean, you see like around the holidays, some places they'll sometimes have like a tree and they'll have ornaments on it, and you can pull one off and it's like a gift that a parent wants to be able to get for their kid for Christmas, but they can't afford it right now.
Our church does that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that kind of stuff, but I thought this was a kind of a cool thing that happens year round. It's not just around the holidays, and they constantly have new wishes coming in because the agencies are constantly reaching out to foster kids and asking, what would you like? What would make you happy? And as the person who created this organization was saying, it's a tangible way to kind of uplift their spirits a little bit, just to be like someone cared enough to get you this thing, especially for families that are doing a huge thing by, being a foster parent, but maybe don't have that extra money to be able to really like splurge on the kid. You know, maybe money's a little tight, but they want to give them a special birthday present, or they want to give them a really cool bedroom that fits their personality. They just can't afford all the decor, like things like that. So I thought that was a really, really cool idea. The reason I share this is because someone had made a post on Humans Being Bros, which is a subreddit on Reddit, and it said, I went to the website onesimplewish.org, which specializes in providing foster kids with things that they wouldn't normally get. An 11-year-old was asking for a bike for his birthday, but his foster family couldn't afford to buy him one. For less than $200, I paid for the kid's new bike. To which someone replied, I wish that this was the top comment just because I'd never heard of this website. And then someone reposted this post and said, after sharing this today, Redditors flooded One Simple Wish and crashed their website with bear hugs. Over $25,000 worth of wishes were fulfilled.
Whoa.
You Redditors rock.
Dang.
So in the same day after posting that, so many Redditors saw that post, had never heard of this website, were like, I want to be a part of this. Crashed the website and donated up to $25,000 worth of wishes.
Redditors unite. Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Dang.
I mean, just think about how much, and a lot of these things that were on the website that I was seeing was like between $60 to $100 was like the most common thing. $25,000. Just think about how many things were given to these foster kids with that support that they got. That's incredible.
And that was just shared on Reddit itself. It's not like it blew up somewhere else.
No,
like on Smosh
it was just on Reddit.
Or a news outlet.
It was just someone posted it on Reddit, and a ton of people saw it.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? It
That's
had
crazy.
6.4 thousand people upvoted that post.
Wow.
So that's to give you an idea, right?
That's still like
incredible?
even if like that would be everyone has to donate. If every one of those 6,000 people donate, that's more than $1. That's definitely
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. And it's awesome. They gave lots of options too. Like I saw on there that they had like a lot of $10 options that would go towards someone's wish if you couldn't fulfill one in total. So you can still donate even if you only want to donate like $10. So that's really, really cool. Yeah, I just thought that was so awesome. And what a cool thing for around the holidays. I did see a lot that were holiday related of people wanting to be able to give gifts to these foster kids for the holidays of specific things that they wanted. So that's really, really cool. But it happens all year round. So that's another really fun thing about it, because our generosity, like I said, it tends to be more during the holiday season, I guess. I don't know why that is, but as a society, that's what we've kind of decided. But think about if it was all year round. Like, that's so cool. You know, I don't know when that was posted. I don't know if it was during the holiday season or not. All I know, it was 3 years ago that this happened. But yeah, just think about if everybody united like that for other things like that. That'd be amazing. So pretty cool.
I wonder if you include the link in the episode description.
I was planning on it. It's a really fun website to look around too. It's just kind of cool to see what kids are asking for and seeing what things are on that onesimplewish.org's website. It's just it's a very user-friendly website too, so it's kind of fun to just peek through it.
That's always
Really
helpful.
sweet.
That's always helpful.
And they even had some stuff I saw of kids' responses to the things that they had received from other people, which were really cool. Like little notes that they gave back to the people that sent them the things, which is kind of cool. So yeah, very wholesome. And I thought that was kind of a fun way with the giving season to kind of end off this episode. If you're looking for another fun episode, that kind of has to do with the holidays a little bit. We have another episode called Giving Gifts. That was a few episodes back. That one has some really cool stuff about giving gifts around the holidays and some just in general, and it's really, really heartwarming. So if you're looking for another fun, heartwarming episode to check out, I'd recommend that one.
Do you have a favorite holiday tradition or holiday memory that you want to share?
That's a good question. I guess this is one. My parents were always very into the magic of the holidays, and so they did a lot of things to try to kind of make us feel that magic was happening and stuff when we were younger and stuff. So we used to find toys up on the roof. Like I remember one year my dad was like, oh my gosh, guys, I think I see something up on the roof. And so he took our ladder, and I mean, we're in Minnesota, so there's a ton of snow up there.
And
That's
it's
pretty
cold,
brave.
as mentioned before.
Pretty brave. My dad climbed up onto the roof with me and my brother all bundled up on the driveway watching him up there. And he's like, guys, I think something fell off the back of the sleigh, and chucks down a little Shrek ball. And we were so excited. Something really cute. There's a movie called The Polar Express, and in the movie, the boy gets a bell from Santa's sleigh, and only people that believe in Santa can hear the bell. And so that year for Christmas, when that movie came out, my brother was really young, and so he asked Santa for a bell for Christmas, and he got this really cool antique looking bell, and it looked a lot like the one from the movie. And that was when we asked him what was your favorite gift from this year, he was like, oh, the bell. And he was just so excited. He's like, I can hear it, I believe. And it was the sweetest thing, because I mean, he got a lot of toys that year, but that was the thing he was most excited about, was the bell that he asked for. So that was really, really sweet. Yeah, those are the ones that like immediately come to mind. I probably could gush about more and more, but we used to have a lot of family members come over around Christmas Eve and have parties, and that was really fun. And then on Christmas Day, we'd always go to my grandparents' houses and stuff, and that was always super fun. So there was a lot of traditions we had around the holidays, so I look back very fondly on all of them. So how about for you? Do you have any fun Christmas memories that you remember from growing up?
I struggle with like specific memories, but I just always enjoyed Christmas time, because that's like one of the few times where my grandparents would come up to town. Like that was like, because they're from Indiana, and so we knew they were going to be there every year for that, and so it was just always great to see them. And we opened Christmas presents with my siblings like on Christmas Eve. That was that tradition. And yeah, I don't know, it's just the overall vibe of Christmas time, and getting almost like Thanksgiving meal again. It's like Thanksgiving 2.0 right? Kind of, with some of the foods, minus the turkey, which is good because I don't love turkey.
Yeah, I get you.
Like at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Obviously, every Christmas with you has been great, and getting to be a part of your guys' Christmas traditions and stuff. It's hard when we have, though, the trick though with the Christmas and the holiday times is always like giving time to every...
Yeah, juggling people's schedules.
Yeah, because we have like 4 Christmases we have to do and stuff. Fortunately, they don't make us do it all the same day.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. It's kind of all spread out, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, it's crazy a little bit for most people around the holidays, I think. But again, if we can kind of remind ourselves around the holidays of what really matters, and get into that spirit of just trying to reach out to people and be with people for the holidays if we can, or reach out to people that you think are going to maybe be alone on the holidays, and try to find a way to make them not feel so lonely around the holidays this year. Whether that be dropping by and giving them a little gift, or stopping by and saying hello and hanging out with them for a little bit. That's something we can all do to make everybody's holidays a little bit more special, no matter what the holiday is. So that, and if you have the means to give in some way, whether it's like I said, a gift or an act of service or that kind of thing, that can really, really mean a lot to people this time of year too. So yeah. We hope you all have a wonderful holiday season this year. And if you have any positive stories that you would like to send to us that we might be able to share on our podcast, we would absolutely love that. You can send them to us at upliftingpositivestories@gmail.com, or you can share them on our Reddit at Uplift Positive Stories. So lots of options. We hope that you'll join us next Wednesday for our next episode. We can't wait for that. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week.
And stay positive.